Well, hey, there you are, Sonia here. I'm glad you stopped in. I have a message I want to share with you. The question has been asked. Does a believer ever get discouraged? And if they do, then where is God at during that period of time when the discouragement sets in? Depression wants to take over, and you just don't know what to do. The night is getting darker, the clouds are rolling, the storms are raging, the winds are blowing. What does a person do when they get discouraged? And why is God allowing them to be discouraged? Now, in the first place, what has God got to do with our mindset? If we allow everything get to us and all we ever want to do is worry and stress ourselves out with situations and problems, circumstances, we've brought that on ourselves. But you say, but Sonia, you don't realize what I've gone through. You know what? We've all gone through things. We've all gone through tests and battles and pitfalls and downfalls and fall down and get back up again. But if it was ever meant for us to have a perfect life here with no problems, no things to worry about, nothing to be concerned about, what in the world would heaven look so great to us for? You say, well, that doesn't sound very encouraging. But here's the thing. Did David ever have a moment of discouragement? Did any of God's prophets ever get discouraged? How about the disciples? Were they ever bewildered and didn't know what to do and full of wonderment and decisions to be made and trying to protect and trying to look out for everyone around them and to be obedient to all that was given to them to be? What did David do? He wrote some Psalms for you and I. And had he not ever gone through anything, had he never been in the valley, he would have never written about it. He says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Now listen, that's pretty technical, don't you think? Pretty dramatizing. If you're walking through such a valley, and you might ask, have you ever gone through anything, Sonia? Are you kidding me? I'll tell you, there's been times I felt so depressed, so bewildered, so discouraged I didn't know what I was going to do. And one thing that happened during all those times that I did go through those things, and still we have days of depression. Yes, we do. But those depressions causes us to reach out, causes us to get a determination within ourselves. We're going to get out of this mess we're in. We're going to lay aside every weight that so easily besets us, and we're going to have a determination like you didn't believe before you even got through that valley that you were in. David also said, I will lift up mine eyes from whence cometh my strength. Do you think he ever got weak? Think he ever got weary, tired, wore out, frustrated, battle fatigue, or whatever? Of course he did. But he knew who to go to. That's the difference with a lot of people. You allow things to come at you, and it just rolls around in your head, and you just don't know what you're going to do with it. If worry ever solved any problem, then I would say worry. Worry doesn't get you anywhere. It only takes you down further into a pit. As David was talking about one place in the written word he wrote, he was talking about how they were setting snares and traps and pits for him. Why? There are just some things that happen that we can't explain. We don't know why they do, but we know one thing, that if we keep focusing upon the solidness of God, if we keep our minds made up, you're not going to move me, you cannot touch me, you cannot cross the bloodline of Jesus Christ. You have got to realize the actual power that God has given you and I as believers. He's granted it for everyone that wants to accept it. That by the spoken word, here's two things we can speak. You can either speak life or you can speak death. Now, which one would you rather be speaking today or tonight? The troubles you're going through right now. You start speaking a positive word, speaking life and not death. I know a lot of people like to paint a glamorous picture as if once you get saved, or once you start believing, or once you start being successful, or achievement and accomplishment, that everything is just going to be a bed of roses. I have news for that message right there. You're going to go through the fire. And when you get out of that fire, you're going to be tested and proved and tried as pure gold. Why do you think it even talks about that? It's because the things that we go through actually makes us stronger, actually give us more determination. So you may be weighed down tonight. You may feel like, I just don't know if I can go another mile. That's just when, oh, dear friend, that's just when God just longs to step in and lift us up and encourage us. Discouragement has come many times knocking on my door, and my head was hanging down and tears were rolling down my cheeks. But it never failed me. The Spirit of God always caused me to be encouraged and delivered me from where I was at. I found myself in places, and as the scripture says, though I make my bed in hell. Now that's serious. Thou art with me. So whatever you're going through right now, remember this. You are not alone, and God is right there with you. You may not see him, you may not even feel anything, but just discouragement and depression. But remember, he's right there with you. And if you will get your mind made up, I'm going to have God deliver me out of this mess I'm in, deliver me out of this pit, this hole, this darkness. I'm coming up out of here with victory. God has promised it to me, and I'm taking my promises and I'm putting them into action. Be not discouraged, be encouraged. For remember, joy cometh in the morning. When you weep through the night, joy comes in the morning. I pray you be encouraged and look up, because you know what? As my mother used to tell me, storms can't always last. Always the sun is going to shine again. I can see clearly, as the songwriter wrote, now it's going to be a bright day, a brighter way. Be encouraged, and not only that, be determined. Be determined that you are going to pull through out of this, and with the help of God, you are going to have the victory. I'm glad you stopped in, and I look forward to the next time. And so, until next time.